research. Thank you. My presentation now is about a study about inks in manuscript, ancient manuscripts, especially with XRF fluorescence and infrared spectroscopy. I will talk about in three steps. First, introduction about our laboratory in Cusco, San Antonio Abad University, and the results of the research, and the next step that we want to do. This is our team, our laboratory, non-destructive optical spectroscopy laboratory in UNSAAC. It was founded in 2013, and now there are two professors, Marco Samayoa, Janet Gonzalez, and me. We have the collaboration of Ruben Sánchez en Católica, Universidad Católica en Perú, y Daniel Dermit en CEUA, Kevin Contreras, and François Poussy. We have a small implementation, but we have an infrared spectrometer, a laser-induced ablation spectrometer, and X-ray fluorescence spectrometer that is hand-handled. Also, we have another laboratory of chromatography and organic chemistry that does the support on the other side of the research. Well, my presentation is about a legend, the lost city of gold, El Paititi. Of course, we didn't try to find the El Paititi El Dorado. The legend says that this city is, there is a lot of gold, and the walls, the roof, everything has gold, and is in the middle of the Amazon. So, our research is about an ancient document from 1569, written by Marco Murillo and Juan Alvarado Maldonado, who traveled in the middle of the Amazon and tried to find this city, El Paititi. This document is one that is in the Departmental Archive in Cusco, and we have the the authorization to begin some research about these documents and other ones with the objective of stated ways of conservation programs. Of course, our objective is the study of materials, not to find the Paititi in this case, but now we try to differentiate the use of inks in this kind of manuscripts, the variation of the compositions, and if possible, how the people of this time in Cusco, in special, tried to prepare their own inks, or if the inks that the people use come from Europe. Our sample is a document of 14 pages. There are different presentations of the dactylography. Probably it was written by different persons. Some parts are text, other parts are signature, and others are notes at the end of each page. The first methodology that we used was XRF spectrometry, because it is not a destructive method. We used these conditions of analysis, After that, we obtained the spectra. We validated the presence of some elements. Okay. There's some points, as I said, these images are photocopies. For the reason there are some parts right over there. We found we do the analysis in the ink, on the text, in the signatures, and on the paper without ink. We found difference between the ink and the paper in the elemental composition. When we saw the results, we found some macro elements and other elements in minor quantity. Probably the Tican is from the table where we have done the analysis. Some elements have big values of in ppm, and others small quantities. But when we have done a preview of the results, we have two groups: inks and paper. Our first analysis about the multivariate analysis of the elemental composition of inks shows two groups, two principal groups. One is small here and another big group on the bottom. The big group has two kinds of points of analysis. The empty is the text, and the red bolded point are the signatures. So we can see that the text, most part of the text of the 14 page, and the signatures use the same ink. And only these points were made with another ink. When we correlate this information with the composition, we have that this small group has a big concentration in copper, so it is a ferrocopperic gallic ink, and this other group is a ferrogallic ink. So we have two kinds of inks at least. When we observe more carefully the results, we have in the small group here in the page 1, the point 1 and point 3. They are in the big group, the common ink, the frequent ink in the document. And after this paragraph, in the second paragraph and in the second page, they used this ink with copper. So we think that this was present, were less present in the community there. These are the result of infrared spectroscopy. For this analysis, we have to take around 3 millimeters of sample with the authorization in a small part where we can degrade the document. We made a pellet with KBR and prepare and obtain the spectra. Here we can compare our document and other documents around 18,000. And we observe here the presence of lignin, hemicellulose, and cellulose composition. So we can see that the rag paper used in that period in Cusco, probably, was used for many, many years after. So we have two situations. First, the ink was probably manipulated more early in Peru than the paper in the production. But when we do the analysis of the paper without ink, we have, for example, the points of the same color are the same paper. We have that the same paper has a similar composition, and the second page has another composition. So the documents probably were not written in the same kind of paper, because they are different composition. But this paper was from rock. Here, this composition, but different source, probably. Okay. In our conclusions, we can say that also of course, we didn't found the FTIR, but we found some stars that the people can handle it and probably prepare their own ink in the time. And the ink that was used in Cusco were not only the ink that was the European origin, and that the ferrogallic and ferrocopric ink were the most common used in the document, and that this is the first found about this kind of composition in Peru. Our next step are continue the analysis of the organic part. If we can develop a methodology for the analysis of the elemental composition of these inks in these manuscripts by LIPS or other technique, and do the analysis of more documents with other techniques. Recently we have received a camera with filters of UV filters and infrared filters to analyze more about these documents. All the analysis were done at the archive regional in Cusco, so we are thankful to them also. This is our group, and LUIZAR Cusco.
¿Son tuyanas?
LUIZAR Cusco, merci.